Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be taking a look at Ark Survival Evolved on the AMD RX 6800 XT. Now Ark is a game that's notoriously known for being very unoptimized, so this should be interesting. Playing at a resolution of 3840 by 2160 at Epic preset. It's kind of funny that if you highlight the Epic preset, they still recommend the Titan X to make that playable, which is funny to me because at 4K, no chance. And everything else is maxed out. You can increase the FOV slider a little bit, so I'm going to do that for you guys now. Doesn't necessarily give you a number, but I'd assume that's around 90 possibly. So let me just pop my on-screen display back up. So as you can see, this is a brand new game. This is a single player mode. The reason I'm using single player is because you don't have to worry about issues like rubber banding and just issues from the actual server. So I wanted to give every chance to show off the performance as it should be on a perfect server. So currently started a brand new game, didn't even bother customize the character. This is like the default character. So I'm literally starting from level 1. So what I'm going to do is grab a couple of resources and start building, because that's the best way to level up in the initial stages. So I'm going to pump health and weight to begin with. Let me just learn some skills so I can now build a stone hatchet and a campfire. So a lot of grinding to be done, so I'm going to be gathering resources for the most part, but we want to talk about performance, getting around 35 to 40 frames per second depending on where we are, and it's kind of to be expected. AMD's never really shone on Ark, and it's because of the Unreal Engine really. Nvidia just seems to have the slight advantage when it comes to performance on the Unreal Engine. So I wasn't expecting too much from this game with the RX 6800 XT at 4K maxed out, but it's playable, that's for sure. So I've got no tools at the moment, so I do have to punch the tree to get wood. So I've managed to achieve getting 5 pieces of wood and a bit of thatch, so I can craft myself a stone hammer, or a stone pick should I say, and then I can move on to crafting a hatchet once I get some more wood. So I'm just going to put the hatchet in my shortcut once I've learnt a few more skills. So I've got the cloth shirt now and the cloth pants, and I've got the ability to build myself a spear. You're going to need that to hunt some animals or just defend yourself generally. So with the stone pick you can get yourself flint, which is needed to make yourself a spear. So I'll go ahead and hit this rock until I consume all the resources. So I got 19 bits of flint there, and it's also necessary to create the stone hatchet as well. So I'm also going to make myself a campfire. With all of this work that my character's doing, he is going to get hungry, so you do need to feed him at some point. So let me just put the hatchet into the shortcut here so it's a little bit easier to access. So I need to kind of decide where I want to build. So just going to gather the necessary resources to start putting down a foundation. I actually need to learn those skills first as well, so you'd find the initial levels come fast because you're such a low level, and you know, you need to power yourself up as soon as possible, because Ark is quite a hostile place if you don't know where you're going. Right in here, this is quite the safe zone. There isn't too many predators that actually come in this area. Sometimes by chance you'll get some raptors, and you may even get a Spinosaurus every now and then, and obviously you got the Dilophosaurus as well. But apart from that, Dilophosaurus isn't really a massive threat unless you run into a high level one by chance. So I'm going to craft 2 spears here. This should provide me with some protection. I'm also going to craft some pants and that shirt as well, just to provide a little bit of protection from the elements. This guy is going to be freezing when it comes to nighttime. The temperature will drop. So all of these things need to be considered. As you can see here, I've got the pants and I've got the shirt on now, so making a little bit of progress. So I'm going to take out this Dilophosaurus now, because we need to get some resources from it anyway. I want to try and avoid getting spat at with the poison, but with the movement speed I have now, it's going to be quite difficult. So as you can see, I got spat at by the poison, so that takes a little while to go away, but it slightly blinds you and slows down your movement. But I can now hack away at this dead body and get some meat, which I can put on the fire, which will feed my character. So I'm gonna get a barbecue going now, just trying to pick out where I want to build. So this seems like a nice area. Just gonna do a little bit of landscaping. Nice little seafront little hut that I'm going to build over here. This should be more than adequate for my starter build. So now that the area is clear, I'm going to get a fire started and get some cooking going on, because my character's getting very hungry. When you get hungry on this game, you just start losing health and you'll eventually pass out if you don't eat. So it is important to keep your strength up. Pop some firewood in there and we can start cooking. Okay, I'm gonna pump just strength, just pump health and carrying weight for the most part, because those are important at the start of the game, because you need to be able to hold one or two things, because you're just gathering resources until you're more comfortable. Let's gather some more resources. I'm gonna get some thatch now and some wood, and then I need to grab some fiber as well, because I'm going to start building the foundations of my little hut. So in general, the performance is staying above 30 FPS, but it's not really raising any eyebrows. The RX 6800 XT is a very, very powerful graphics card. In most 4K games, it will provide you with over 60 FPS no problem, especially when you overclock the card. There's about 10 FPS or more left in the tank if you can get it to perform well enough. This card performs very, very well, and it overclocks pretty well as well. But even with the 4 clocks I'm running, it's still not enough to provide decent performance. I would recommend, if you are going to play Ark Survival Evolved with the AMD RX 6800 XT, to probably drop down to 1440p. That'll probably be the best thing to do. Okay, so cooked up a few slabs of meat, and you can see my food meters increasing again. So anyway, let's lay down some foundations. I'm going to make it around 2 foundations wide and 3 foundations long. That should provide enough room for a starter hut. So I don't want to make it too big, because it's more of a temporary build, and you don't really want to live on the Oasis. You don't really want to live in this area. There isn't really much going on. Just fill up my food meter there, so you can see that's gone back all the way up to almost 100, so I should be alright for food for a little while. Just need 2 more foundations, but I don't have the resources, so I need to grind a little bit more. So this is kind of just Ark Survival Evolved in a nutshell for the starting scenes. It can be a little tedious. You do have to kind of keep gathering resources and then leveling up and learning the skills necessary before you can even think about taming dinos. But once you tame dinosaurs, it starts getting a lot more fun. Funny thing about Ark is I played it years and years and years ago just to kind of test it like I am now, but just to kind of generally analyze how bad it was. But then when I started learning the mechanics and understanding how the game worked, I just started to enjoy it. Even with its faults, the game I really enjoyed it. I spent loads of hours online, and yeah, it is a fun game. I'm not going to take that away from it. That's why it's had the success it's had. It's just that I think at the moment Studio Wildcard have just forgotten about optimization. Now they've made so much money. I think everyone's kind of prepared to live with how poorly the game runs on. Despite the hardware you have, it's never going to run great, and I think people have just come to accept that now. So I don't think you'll ever see any more optimization for this game. Of course, there's been news of the new Ark game that's going to come out in 2022, I think it is. So looking forward to that. Got another level now, so I'm just gonna pump basic stats. So when you obviously building, your character slows down considerably, and when you're over encumbered, your character slows down considerably as well. So I want you to get some of this weight off me. And you can do two things: you can either drop a bunch of stuff, or you can build some items, and that will reduce your weight as well. So I need to just get the rest of my meat off the fire and turn it off, because we don't want to waste resources. So just save the wood. Okay, so I'm just gonna drop a few things and craft a few things as well, just to kind of reduce the weight so I can move around a bit more freely. So you can see I can move a lot more freely now. So yeah, let's just place down the two foundations that I needed. Oh, I just forgot now that these are actually roofs. They're not even foundations. I need to pick these up. I'll use these later. Let me just craft some foundations. I only need 2 more, and that should do the trick. But I need to get some weight off me, so I'll just place the walls that I can. So I've got enough to kind of do this in one go. I'm not going to put one here because that's where my door frame is going to go. And then I'm not going to put any in here because I want the room to be a bit bigger. So let's gather some more resources. I need some more fiber. Probably going to need a bit more thatch before I can make those foundations. Don't worry guys, I will explore the island a little bit once I've done building my hut, because I just want just one place where this character can be safe from dinosaurs or anything if I'm going to get attacked. So I just want to get this done as quickly as possible before nightfall, because it gets really, really dark. Okay, so build a door frame. Building the foundations that I need now. And I'll just build a door as well. So that should take care of the outside of the hut. So let's just get these 2 foundations down. So the building mechanics are very easy. They're quite similar to Rust. I don't know if any of you guys have ever played Rust. It's quite similar to that. I would say Rust is a little bit more difficult to build, but you can really build some amazing looking buildings on Ark. I have seen some amazing structures on here. People have really spent the time and put the working and the effort. So I have to give it to Studio Wildcard. They've definitely made a good building system. I do like it a lot. So that's the outside done. I'm just going to go and place the door now. And let's just grab us some more resources. Probably going to need some more wood. Nearly going to level up, so probably... I really wish that wasn't so loud. I have to stop talking every time that sound comes on. But yeah, we're starting to level up pretty well now. I'm able to learn how to build multiple things now, so this is looking good. And then I'll just go around exploring the island a little bit. I want to make a water skin as well. Water skins are important because that little, if you look in the bottom right hand corner, there's the kind of water drop icon just above the meat icon, which is your food meter. If you run out of water, obviously you become dehydrated, and with dehydration becomes loss of health, and you'll also pass out as well. So if you have a water skin, you just go towards the water source, fill it with water, and you can take 2 sips from that in a situation where you're dying of thirst. The only problem with the water skin is it does leak water over time. So as you progress, you start building more superior ways of storing your water, like canteens and water jars and things like that. So it's all good fun. The stronger and longer you play, the better everything becomes, and you can start really doing some big things. Anyway, let's start crafting the remainder of what's necessary to build this hut. So this is what it looks like when you're over in camera or you're running while you're building something. You start running in slow motion. I really need to build some steps, but I'm gonna have to jump up into the hut and just put the roof in. Just the last two now. As you can see, the rain, you can't hear it anymore now that we've made a completely covered building. And when you do make a building completely fortified from the elements, you get a little house icon in the top right or in the middle right hand corner to show that you're in an enclosed area, so there isn't any open gaps anymore. So because my weight is so rubbish, I'm just going to store some things in this storage box now so I can move around a little bit more freely. And let's get rid of some of these optional items. Okay, what to do now? So I'm going to explore the island a little bit, go and hunt some dinosaurs. I do need a little bit of thatch, not thatch, but we need some hide. So you need hide to make certain things, so I need to go and find something to kill. That parasaur there. Well, there's a parasaur here now that just popped out of nowhere. This will be more than sufficient to provide some hide. So let's try and kill it. It's level 4, so it shouldn't be too difficult. They are pretty fast though. They run around with no real plan. They're not exactly going to run in a straight line. They just kind of run all over the place. You just got to chase them, which is annoying because you don't really have much strength and stamina at the start of the game. So this will become a lot easier as you go along and you build better weapons. So let's use the hatchet to cleave this up, get all the meat and hide we can. I was able to get 61 pieces of hide from that. So I've got some fogs kind of showing up now. What I'm going to do is just load. It's going to forward time to when the rain stops because you can't really see much going on in the fog. Performance has increased a little bit because it's obscuring the vision. So I'll load up and see if we can get the weather to improve. So here we are back in the hut. The rain has stopped now, so the fog should slowly disperse. I'm not able to build a bed just yet, so this sleeping bed will have to do for now. This is where I will place the bed once I get one. As you can see, nice and sunny again. Game is a good looking game, it's just let down by its performance unfortunately. But I wouldn't let that stop you from trying the game out. I'm not trying to discourage people from playing Ark. It's a really fun game, especially online when you can like meet other players and just make communities and things like that. It is a really fun game, but it's just not the best when it comes to running smoothly. But it does look really nice at 4K, it has to be said. So I'm going to start exploring the island a bit now. I know you guys want to see some other areas. You don't just want to see me stuck on the beach. So let's go and do that now. So in this area, pretty safe. Hopefully I don't run into any raptors up the hill. And sometimes there's a few lurking. And if I get seen by one of those, I'm not going to be able to outrun it. I'm definitely not going to be able to kill it. So I really hope that doesn't happen. So right now there is a kind of event going on for Valentine's Day, so you may see some weird colored dinosaurs, and that's due to the event that's currently going on. So I just want to let you guys know that when you see like weird bright colors, it's something that the Studio Wildcards thought they would add to the event rather than the game. So yeah, another level up. Just keep pumping the most important stats and see what else we can build now. Nothing too interesting. So I think I'll just build a narcotic. So the narcotic is like a sedative. You use it to basically knock out dinosaurs that you want to tame, and you also use it to keep them sedated as well. So that's something that's going to be very, very integral to the game, and you'll be crafting a load of those in the future, that's for sure. It's a good way of leveling up as well. So to make those, you need rotten meat, and you need, I believe it's narco berries, the black ones, and then you mix that in a mortar and pest, or if you've got, what's it? I think it's there's something that's better than that to craft your narcotics a lot better, but it's like the scientific workbench, I think it is. But that takes a long time before you have the resources to build one of those. So usually around this area you find loads of raptors and things like that, Dilophosaurus as well. There's quite a few predators around here. So in the distance I can see just 2 Dilophosaurus really. No raptors here today, which is quite surprising. I've actually noticed Ark actually varies depending on what version you play. The Steam version had a bit better graphics in terms of how far you can push the game. So if you put like the foliage and the clutter on the floor and the viewing distance, it's a little bit better on the Steam version. This is the Epic Store version. The only thing about the Epic Store versions for me, it's got better servers. So I prefer to play it on the Epic Store now. And it's less crashes as well. The Steam version used to crash so much. I just got fed up with it. The Epic Store version doesn't crash half as much. So I would say it's a little bit more stable. But I'll just head into a really, really dense vegetation area, like with all the trees and stuff, so you can see the performance dipping down below 40 frames per second. It's not really changed too much. It's pretty much the same performance as it is on the beach, so it's quite consistent. I'll give the RX 6800 XT that. You are just going to be kind of between the 35 and 40 FPS range pretty much throughout the game, unless you're maybe flying and you're only looking at the sky. Yeah, perfectly playable. I just recommend you drop down to 1440p if you really want that smooth FPS experience. Even then, that might not be enough. You may need to tweak a few more settings. So I found an explorer note here. Loads of these scattered around the island, basically the lure of the game, and it gives you experience, and these are great to find, especially in the early stages of the game, because they practically give you an instant level up most of the time. And you can see those 2 purple arrows there in the bottom right hand corner. So I've got a boost now for the next 568 seconds, and my experience will increase a bit quicker while this is enabled. So if I start killing some dinosaurs, start building while this is enabled, I'll get a lot more experience than I would if this buff wasn't on. So it helps you level up fairly quickly. I can see a Dilophosaurus there, so let's try and take it out. Hopefully we can avoid the poison this time. Getting nice FPS around here though, in the 50s, so I guess it really does depend on what you're looking at, how well the game performs. A fairly easy kill. Let's take out this dodo bird as well. It's always good to have more than one spear. If you miss, it will hit the ground, it will snap sometimes, so always good to have a spare. Good source of meat, good sorts of hide as well. So dodo birds are stupid, of course. They don't really acknowledge threats, so you can just kind of take them out easily. Easy way to farm hide and meat in the early stages of the game, of course. And now build ourselves a bow and arrow. I'm also going to build myself a bowler, which is great if you want to catch flyers. You can just basically throw one of those and it will keep them, it will stop them from flying away for a few seconds, which will allow you to sedate them with your club, or if you want your narco arrow. So these are like drop points in the game. and often they do carry items that are useful. So they had a bed there that was useful for me, and I've taken one of the storage chests. So sometimes they come in all different colors. The white color is the very low level basic, and then you get blue, and then you get yellow, and then you get purple, and then you get red. So there's like four or five different colors. Red's the best, and you have to be a certain level to unlock certain drop points, but you usually find something decent inside. Okay, so I need to get back across this little stream now, but there are predators in, or I'll say there's threats in the water, should I say. So you got like stingrays and piranha to worry about. There's a dolphin over there, and that's not really going to be a threat. They're actually quite friendly. They won't do anything to you. So you got like a stingray there. I know it's not called a stingray in this game, but that's generally what the modern day name is for it. So that's what I'm calling it. See if I can get across this way. Sometimes by chance you'll see like megalodons try to come in these shallow waters, but they'll end up beaching themselves and dying anyway, so nothing really to worry about. Okay, so this stingray thing is quite hostile, so you don't really want to get into a tangle with that at such a low level. You'll pretty much just get killed. I can see a piranha there heading over. I better get out of here. So you're getting my ass kicked. Even on the noob area, there's still threats, so can't take it for granted. I'm just gonna walk over to where it's shallow. You can just pretty much just walk straight across when the tide's out. So there is a little bit of a tide in this game. So when it's really sunny, the water level will drop, but it will come back up again a bit later. So I was able to get across without getting killed, which is nice. Okay, just gonna find my hut now. Got some more meat on the fire. You can see my character is basically starving, so let's get some barbecue going. So you see the stomach icon there. That's the indication to show that you're in need of food. So yeah, that is, pretty much a look at Ark Survival Evolved. I'm just gonna move this sleeping bag now that I've actually was lucky enough to get a bed from that drop point. I can just place it here. So the bed does play an important role. It's basically your spawn point. So it's not just for decor. You do really need it. If you do get killed, it's where you're going to spawn back from. Let's put another storage chest here because my carrying weight's terrible at the moment. I just want to store a few things that I will need to come back to. Allows me to move around a bit more freely. Store some of this this spark powder as well. And don't underestimate berries. They actually become very heavy after a while. But yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. Ark Survival Evolved optimization hasn't really changed from day one, but it's great fun if you're into this type of game. 6800 XT will provide you playable experience at 4K, but it's definitely not what I'd recommend. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.